Welcome to the Migraine Miracle Moment. I'm your host, Dr. Josh Turknet. I'm a neurologist, migraine specialist, migraine sufferer, and author of the book, The Migraine Miracle. In this podcast, you'll learn all about how to find your path to migraine freedom without pills. Let's get started. All right, welcome again to the Migraine Miracle Moment. Today I am going to share a short clip from a recent live clinic chat question and answer session that we had for our Migraine Neverland members. The question was on the link between migraine triggers and the onset of a migraine, specifically whether something that you do could lead to a migraine several days after. These question and answer sessions are part of the live sessions that we hold regularly over Zoom for our Migraine Neverland members, and in those, we alternate between topic-based presentations and question and answer sessions where kind of anything goes. Some of the recent topical discussions were on the connections between histamine sensitivity and migraines and how to know if histamine sensitivity is a significant issue for you, for your migraines, and what to do about it if that's the case. Some other recent sessions have been on exercise and migraines, key nutrients for migraine protection, frequently asked questions about preventative medications, just to name a few. And as a reminder to all of our members who are listening, you can watch the replays of any of those sessions by clicking on the virtual classroom link on your member homepage. Also, we have a couple of challenges coming up. A sleep challenge launches this weekend. This is July 2nd. And the next Jumpstart challenge starts on July 10th. Again, both of those are available to members. You can learn more about the Jumpstart at mymigrainemiracle.com/jumpstart. And to learn more about Migraine Neverland in general, just head to mymigrainemiracle.com and click on the resources tab. You'll also find the links to all of these in the description, the podcast description. Okay, and now on to the excerpt from our last live question and answer session. The question came from member Dina, who asked, is it normal for a migraine to come on a Tuesday after a Saturday night of poor diet choices and drinking alcohol? Asking for this stupid girl who had 3 weekends in a row with events and visiting friends and family. All right, that is the question, and here is my answer from that Q&A session. So I think we can all relate to this. One of the most common stories that we've heard over the years, hopefully maybe we can make it a little less common, but is that someone will come in, be really diligent about implementing everything in the program, and have an extended period of time where they're doing really well, and then sometimes thinking, maybe this thing is over with, right? Maybe this, the migraines aren't a part of my life anymore, and so kind of gradually starting to add things back in and become a little more lax with some of the stuff, and then bam, the beast comes back with a vengeance. And in most of those cases, it's never any one thing that does it, and it's kind of like this cumulative effect that happens, from sort of relaxing everything for a period of time, and which of course is all just human nature, and we can relate 100% to this happening. But one of the things that we talk a lot about here, and you've probably heard many other people say as well, is that things keep getting better and better the longer you implement the program. And that wouldn't be possible if those efforts weren't cumulative, if they didn't add up over time. And, kind of like putting money in a bank account consistently each and every day, it really seems to work like this with so many things. And that's likely because there are physiological processes that are being impacted by these changes that operate on many different time scales, from seconds and minutes down all the way to days and weeks. Things like, gene expression changes, those are happening on a longer time scale. So the impact of those, are going to be much more extended. But this also likely happens in the reverse direction as well. So, things, if things kind of slide a little bit, the impact of that may not be immediate. because again, things are operating on multiple time scales. And this is one reason why, as I talk about, it's important to be wary of ever attributing any episode to any one thing, which risks ignoring all the things that came before that kind of may have set the stage. So, in this particular case, so the answer to that question is sort of a qualified yes. Was it the alcohol or a cheat meal? Were those things the direct cause? Probably not, but did they contribute? By impacting your overall vulnerability, and that's very likely. And this also gets back to the kind of the meaning of holistic and sort of the whole mindset around that. It's always all the things operating together that determine how things go rather than any one thing. And kind of that mindset in general helps to get away from trying to connect our experience to any one thing, which is really hard to do, and it's just natural to want to do that, and it can be counterintuitive. But again, everything we do affects us on multiple time scales. And I think it's really good to think about, all of our efforts as compounding over the long term. Another thing that happens periodically, someone will post about having gone, X number of days without having taken an abortive medication, and then, broke down and took a triptan, and then are worried that they've undone all those efforts. And of course, that's not at all true. But just like I said, all those efforts can't be undone all at once. They are cumulative. I think another helpful way to think about this is think of it like weight loss. If you change your diet and you lose 30 pounds over the course of 6 months, and then one night you binge on chocolate cake, you're not going to put back all of those 30 pounds overnight, right? So you can't unravel 6 months worth of effort with one bad day. And, at the worst, you have a minor setback. And the same is true with all of our efforts in implementing the program. So they're less visible than weight loss because they're happening, so it's all happening on the inside, but they're still happening and they're still accumulating over time. So if you have those setbacks, just get back on the horse. You're not going to undo the whole thing in that situation. Okay, thanks again, Dina, for your question. As mentioned, the full replay of that Q&A session, the video Q&A, is available in the Migraine Neverland virtual classroom. Some of the other questions that were answered in that session included, do certain drug-free strategies fit better when you're experiencing certain prodrome symptoms? Can the type of water we drink impact migraines? What are the compounds in decaf coffee that are problematic for migraineurs? What are your thoughts on avocados and avocado oil? What are your thoughts on psilocybin or mushrooms and its potential use for migraine? Can motion sickness, 3D rides, or VR contribute to migraines? And several more. So our next live Q&A session with our members is July 11th, and our next topical workshop will be on gut health for migraineurs, which will be Sunday, July 25th. So if you want to see all the replays and take part in those, then just head over to mymigrainemiracle.com and click on the resources tab. All right, that's it for this episode. Now it's time to go out and slay the beast.